Hey everyone, this is Faiz and welcome to my channel. Today I'm really excited because with me, as you can see, I've got the all-new 2024 Model 3 refresh. I've done a full review on it, by the way, which you can click the link above or in the description below to check that out. And I'm going to be comparing it with the Model Y. These are two of the top-selling electric vehicles in the market, and I absolutely love both of them. They're both very similar, yet also very different at the same time. So without any further ado, let's start off by talking about the design. The Tesla Model 3 is a sedan, while the Model Y is a crossover SUV. The Model 3 and Model Y both used to share a ton of design elements, but with the updated new look of the 2024 Model 3, there are more differences now than ever before. Being a sedan means the Model 3 has a much sleeker and sportier look and feel, especially with the enhancements that Tesla has made to the new 2024 Model 3, which is more angular now and no longer has a lot of the baby fat on the front end that the current Model Y and previous Model 3 had. The puffy cheeks are gone and it now has a sharper sloped roofline, which in my opinion looks much nicer. The fog lights are now integrated with the new slimmer headlights, so the front end also looks much cleaner in comparison to the Model Y, which sort of reminds me of Bug's eyes, and I much prefer these new sleeker headlights, which really remind me of Audi. Here's how the previous Model 3's front end looked next to the Model Y, and here's the new Model 3 next to the Model Y. As you can see, the new Model 3 looks much more modern and stylish. Now let's take a look at the rear. Tesla has now removed the T badge from the trunk lid and instead has Tesla spelled out. I really like this look as it looks much more minimal and modern. This change was first introduced in the Model S and X, and now the Model Y is the only Tesla with the T badge still on the back. Now, aside from the badge, the biggest difference in the back now between the 3 and the Y is with the tail lights. The tail lights of the new Model 3 are now incorporated into the tailgate as one piece. The lights are out wide, and there are no split lights when the lights are lit. And as you can see with the Model Y, that is not the case. Now, let's take a look at the interior. At first glance, they look almost identical. After all, the layout and everything is exactly the same when it comes to the dash, the glass roof, the 15-inch touchscreen display, wireless chargers, and cup holders. However, the new Model 3 has major refinements in all of these areas, which gives it a more premium vibe overall. For an example, the wood and plastic trim on the Model Y is not present on the new Model 3, which now incorporates this nice textured material. The fit and finish is top-notch, and even the door cards use different materials, and these changes to the materials and fabrics not only make the Model 3 feel much more luxurious, but it also helps with reducing noise as well. So it feels much quieter in the cabin of this new Model 3 versus the Model Y. The main screen on the dashboard of the new Model 3 is brighter and more responsive in comparison to the Model Y. Unlike the Model Y, the new Model 3 seats look and feel a lot like the Model S and X, especially since the Model 3 seats are now ventilated as well. Also, the center console of the Model 3 is completely redesigned, and now you can cover the cup holders as well, unlike with the Model Y. However, one thing as a driver that you will immediately notice is the steering wheel. With the Model Y, you have a Tesla emblem in the center and a knob on the left and right side, along with gear stalks behind the wheel. With the new Model 3, there is no Tesla emblem. Instead, it has the Tesla letters written out, and also you don't have stalks, so you instead get tactile buttons on the steering wheel for your turn signals, headlights, wiper, camera, and voice control. Now Tesla wants you to completely control everything from the screen. So if you've driven a Model S or Model X, then you probably know what I'm talking about. It's very simple, so all you have to do is you want to hit the brakes, and then when you hit the brake, it's going to give you the option to reverse or drive. So I want to reverse right now, and as you can see, it shows me this great view, and I'm now reversing from this parking spot. And of course, if I want to start driving forward, I just do that and I start driving forward. Once you start getting used to driving the Model 3, you're not even going to miss the stalks. The one new enhancement I really like is the addition of ambient lights throughout the interior. You can choose from many different colors, any color you want technically, and it really personalizes the driving experience. Now, I really wish this was in the Model Y, and because it isn't, I added aftermarket ambient lights from Handshow, and it looks absolutely amazing. Even better than the OEM ambient lights. If you're interested in getting these lights, be sure to use my link in the description below and use discount code FAIZ for 30% off. Now let's take a look at the rear passenger seats. While you can easily seat 5 people into a Model 3 with decent headroom and legroom, the Model Y's spacious interior means that you're going to be a lot more comfortable on longer drives since the Model Y is 2 inches longer and 7 inches taller than the Model 3. With the Model Y, you also have the option of a third row seat. However, I must say that I do not think that this third row option is practical at all for adults. Now, one addition to this new Model 3 that I absolutely love is the rear screen. So what's really neat is that you can also adjust the temperature in the back, so the airflow, which direction you want it to go, for which seat. You can adjust your music, you can watch movies and TV shows, play games, and also adjust other settings as well, like screen brightness. All right, so what's really neat is for the rear seat passenger, especially the one that's sitting behind the front passenger, you can now in the screen adjust the setting of that passenger seat. So if you want it to go forward, you can let it go forward. If you want more leg space, now obviously you can have it go back as well. And of course, like with the Model X and the Model S, you can even turn on your heated seats right from the screen as well. So that's really cool. I really hope Tesla brings this rear screen display on the future Model Y refresh. Another thing I want to add is that there's no physical blind spot indicators on the Model Y aside from the display. However, with the new Model 3, you can get indicators built into the speaker, so when you're driving, a red dot pops up when your turn signal is on and there's a car in your blind spot. This is very neat to have. Now let's go over cargo capacity. The new Model 3's rear trunk gives you 21 cubic feet of space. However, the Model Y, being the larger vehicle, drastically has more trunk space, measuring up at 36 cubic feet. Now let's take a look at the front trunk. The Model 3 has 3.1 cubic feet of space, and the Model Y measures up at 4.1 cubic feet. Now let's discuss performance and range. The power and range you get with either Model 3 and Y depends on which version you get. With the Model 3, there are 3 variants. A rear-wheel drive with a range of 272 miles and a 0 to 60 of 5.8 seconds. A long-range all-wheel drive has a range of 341 miles and a 0 to 60 of 4.2 seconds, and an all-new performance variant with a range of 296 miles and an impressive 0 to 60 of only 2.9 seconds. With the Model Y, there are also 3 variants. A long-range rear-wheel drive with a range of 320 miles and a 0 to 60 of 6.5 seconds. A long-range all-wheel drive with a range of 310 miles and a 0 to 60 of 4.8 seconds. And a performance version with a range of 279 miles and a 0 to 60 of 3.5 seconds. Clearly, in every way, the Model 3 is faster, and those who are obsessed with the highest numbers or want to take part in drag racing, the Model 3 is the clear winner when it comes to overall performance. Now, when it comes to special features, both the Model 3 and Model Y have the standard Tesla suite that includes basic autopilot, lane assist, collision warnings, and blind spot alarms. The full self-driving package is also available for both vehicles for $8,000. Lastly, let's talk about pricing. And this is something I hate talking about, as Tesla is constantly changing the prices. However, as of right now, the Model 3 is the most affordable Tesla in their lineup, as it starts at $38,990. The Model Y, on the other hand, starts at $44,990. Now, both of these vehicles are fantastic. And to be honest, I personally still prefer the Model Y because I personally prefer SUVs, as I get the higher ride height, plus I get the added space and comfort that you get with an SUV. But now the Model 3 is fantastic for those who want something that's compact and sporty. The new enhancements and modifications that Tesla has done with the Model 3 are absolutely fantastic, and I cannot wait for Tesla to bring those same enhancements and modifications to the Model Y. But like always, I want to know your thoughts. Which one do you prefer? Do you like the new Model 3, or would you still choose the Model Y? Whatever your thoughts are, leave them down in the comment section below. Till then, I'll see you next time.